What's up, everybody? I'm Wyvern, and we are here to talk Nightmare Cup. Wait, that's not the logo. That's better. Alright, we're here to talk Nightmare Cup, guys. The typing for this one is a bit unique. It's only 3 types instead of 4, and they actually have a ban list this time. You cannot use Sableye, you cannot use Medicham, and you cannot use Legendaries or Mythicals. Say goodbye to your Mews and your Cresselias, guys. You're going to have to go full regular Pokemon on this one. The typing for this one is really unique because we have a nice triangle where fighting is good on dark, dark is good on psychic, psychic is good on fighting, and so forth. As you'll see on this diagram here, I kind of put Spiritomb on there just because I expect him to be used on almost every team in the meta, so I threw him on there to kind of show how he fits in with that group there. An early look at the meta, I expect to see a lot of Spiritomb, as I just stated, Lucario, or really any power-up punch Pokemon in general. I know Poliwrath is another one. I expect to see Alolan Raichu a decent bit, maybe on about 50% of teams. You're going to want to run him with Spark, and then Wild Charge is so good. And then that next one, up to you. It's either between Psychic or Thunder Punch. I haven't decided on that yet. Thunder Punch is nice because it charges up fast, and you can charge up 2 of them, and then use one, bluff a Wild Charge, but it's just a Thunder Punch, and you can hit them with that other Thunder Punch to get that shield out of them. Next up, we'll have Exatu, who I'm not even planning on running any Psychic moves on. I'm going to go with his Flying Fast attack. I can't remember what it is right now. But then Aerial Ace and Ominous Wind, because Ominous Wind is a great stat-boosting move, along with Power Up Punch, guys. Stat-boosting moves are so crucial in PvP. Lastly, I expect to see, again, probably about 50% of teams running a Shiftry, because we saw in Tempest Cup how good Razor Leaf is. We don't have any of the same groundwater or water-type tanks that we saw in Tempest Cup, but Razor Leaf is still a phenomenal fast move, so I expect to see quite a few Shiftry in this cup, in addition to having Leaf Tornado as a stat-changing move. Some other likely Pokemon you might see are Umbreon as a tank. Look out for that Community Day Last Resort on it. That's going to hit neutral on just about everything except Spiritomb, which resists it. Poliwrath, as I mentioned, as a power-up punch Pokemon. Slowking, I've seen in a bit of practice. You might see that in some of the tournaments. And then the poison types that we saw in Twilight Cup, whether that be Toxicroak as a fighter, or you'll get Skuntank, Alolan Muck, and Drapion as dark types. I expect to see a lot of poison types in this tournament. Now, for your ideal team of 3 Pokemon, with it being a tri-type tournament, you almost have to run one of each type, just so you have that triangular counter should you need it. But for your team of 6, we're going to look more extensively on that today. You are going to want to run 100% a power-up punch Pokemon. In Kingdom Cup, we saw how crucial that was. If you watched my footage from it, Lucario is what won me games. Power-up punch is so good, guys. You have to run it. I would suggest Lucario, or if you're unable to hatch or trade for a Riolu, I would go with Poliwrath, just because you have to have a power-up punch Pokemon. Hitmonchan is another option you can look at. You're going to want a Psychic attacker. Now, whether that be Alolan Raichu with Psychic, or Slowking or Espeon, you're going to want something that can hit with Psychic moves. That, for me, is going to be the toughest thing to try and fit into my team, just because, to me, there's not anything that stands out if you have a Last Resort Espeon that could be usable. Next up, you're going to want a tank Pokemon. Umbreon is a good option. When I talk about my meta breakers, Bronzong is another good option as a tank and as a Psychic Pokemon. So that is an option you could look at. Next up, you're going to want a quick striking Pokemon, whether that be a Razor Leaf Shiftry, a Spark Alolan Raichu, or Exatu. You're going to want something that can hit hard and hit fast. That's something that we've seen the usefulness of Altaria. That is something that has been crucial in past tournaments. So that's something you're going to want on this team. Next, you're going to need a power-up punch Pokemon counter. A good one for that is Exatu, because not only does he double resist fighting type, but he also has those flying type moves. He's able to take out anything in this tournament that is able to run power-up punch. Lastly, I would suggest a Meta Breaker or a Playstyle Fitter. Personally, for me, I like to hit hard and I like to hit early, so I might fit that with another Pokemon that has a good fast attack and quick charge attacks. Some of the Meta Breakers I've listed are Fairy-type Pokemon to counter Spiritomb, such as Alolan Raticate or Gardevoir. You can run a Fire-type Pokemon, Infernape or Blaziken. Could be interesting options, especially if we get a new move for Blaziken on Community Day. A lot of people are predicting Blast Burn, but with them adding new moves for PvP, I can see them potentially giving it Blaze Kick and breaking that theme. So keep an eye out for what Blaziken gets on Community Day. And lastly, like I mentioned, is that tank of Bronzong. So he could be a good option. I'll try and get some test footage out battling some of my friends later in the week. I'll probably throw that into another video. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you're looking at Pokemon and you want my opinion on your team or something like that. Feel free to @ me on Twitter or comment on the video. But please share this video with your friends. Feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, I'm Wyvern. Good luck in your nightmare.